I got you guys this year the Winsor & Newton's Cotman watercolor sets in these convenient little travel cases. First thing I want you to do is put your name very clearly on there. That's the lit symbol, the family tradition. To get this open, it's a little tricky. You do not want to try to pry it open and pull. When you do that, the little paints inside might fly everywhere, make a big mess. What you're going to do instead is you stick your fingernail between that line and it just kind of pops open. Okay, so you just kind of wiggle the fingernail in there a second. Whoop. It is a little tricky. Okay, now I appreciate that it holds together so tightly because you don't want this all falling apart in your backpack. Now, when you open this, you're going to notice that it doesn't want to lay flat. Okay, and at first I was like, oh no, I don't like this. And that is because of this little thing on the back here. This is a travel palette, and so you could hold it in one hand securely by sliding your finger through there. See, like that? And it holds it in place. And then you could paint while you're standing. Okay, we're not gonna need that. So what I suggest is, and it kept popping off anyway, you can see how that happened again. I suggest you just take this whole thing off and toss it. We are not gonna need that. So you see without it there, how it will lay perfectly flat. And that's what we want. Now, I love this set because it's got two removable palettes. All right, and this is going to make cleanup easier in the classroom, and it's going to make keeping your supplies to yourself easier. So you're not going to have to be standing at the sink forever, washing things and trying to reuse stuff that other people have touched. So you've got plenty of mixing space between all this. And they've got fairly deep wells, which is nice if you need to mix a lot of one color. And then this palette, the first piece that pops out, has these little things sticking out there where you can attach it. Can't see what I'm doing, there we go. And it can hang off the side right there. Makes it less likely to flip over onto your artwork too. And again, if you want to hold it, then it's secure. And you can stick it on that side as well. And I do like that when you take this thing off, it leaves more of an air pocket so fresh air can get in there and help it dry. But you are going to want to go home and make sure that you let it air dry completely if it's very wet, okay? Because if you seal things up and keep it shut, then the paints will get a little musty and nasty and stuff, and you don't want that to happen. All right, they all come individually wrapped. These things snap out. It's a little tricky. There you go. Now, you can look up online people who have customized this palette further, and there's been people who put like a piece of laminated cardboard in the bottom and hold it down with like double-sided tape or glue dots, and that way they take up less space. So you could line up your palette without this contraption, and you could tape them down with cardboard and glue dots and line them up, and that gives you more space to store stuff. So you could lay like another brush in there. So up to you. You can customize this however you like. I think I'm just going to keep them in here. Now, when you do this, they all fall out. All right, so I want to make sure that I keep them in the right order where they belong. That one might be solidly attached, that's good. Okay. And then simply going to do this. Sorry, there's kid noise in the background. Okay. I'm going to add a drop of water, nice size drop of water, in the bottom of each well, and then I'm going to just pop that in there. That's going to dissolve some of the paint on the bottom, and then it will stick better. And then to make it extra secure, no, hold on a second. Make it extra secure, I'm just going to add a little bit of water along the edge and get it to sink down in there. And then again, once that loosens the paint, dissolves and re-dries, it will stick well and it will not pop out. All right, so it would be ideal to get that done before you come to class so that you don't open up your palette and all your little paint pieces are flying everywhere. Right, now I'm also discovering as I'm playing with this that this setup, they rattle a lot, okay? So I don't really like that. They kind of move and rattle a bit. So if that ends up bothering you or me, then we might want to do that customization where you take them out and hold them down with the glue dots. If the bouncing back and forth doesn't bother you, then I guess you're fine. Anyway. Okay, well, look at this. I fixed it. I tried something with glue dots here. Let me show you what I did. This is not rattling at all anymore. It's staying very secure. All I did here is use a glue dot to secure the edge along the side here. So, if you can see that very clear glue dot, I'm laying half of the glue dot on the bottom of the little well here, and then folding the other half up the side, and then gently peel that off. Okay, and then try to keep your fingers off of it so it stays sticky. And then I'm just going to snap that in there and press it right against the side. Each one has a name, and you want to, so that you know what color you're out of and you want to replace. I have them turned this way so I can see what the name is. Right, if you should forget what it is, you can see on this one I didn't turn it around the right direction, and so I can't see. So I'm going to turn that back around, which just means you put the glue dot on the side that doesn't have the writing. I want you to have Canson watercolor paper at home in your supplies. We'll be using this in class. It's the XL line of Canson. It's a 140-pound cold press, 9x12 size, 30 sheets, and you can get this for like $5. Always buy it on sale, or else it's going to be like $10. It's way overpriced. So all you have to have is these supplies that I provided you, and one pad of watercolor paper, and that is it.